resident of Woodland Terrace. I attended 4 years of college, 4 years of medical school, and 4 years of residency. I went to medical school and undergraduate school at Johns Hopkins, and I did my residency at Duke University, studying internal medicine. I practiced internal medicine and active in the community of Rocky Mount for a number of years. Okay, now.
What was the name of your practice in Rocky Mount?
Name of my practice is Weeks Carter Doyle.
Okay.
And later we merged with Boyce Willis Clinic near the end of my practice. We needed more doctors together to help the changing atmosphere of medicine and increasing presence of government involvement in the practice of medicine.
Hi, I'm Ari. I'm an certified occupational therapy assistant. I work at Woodland Terrace under the therapy department. I went to Lesley University for 4 years and have a degree in art therapy. And then I went on to the New England Institute of Technology in Rhode Island and got my certificate in occupational therapy.
Hi, my name's Gene Tucker. I'm a resident of Woodland Terrace, and I've been here about 4 years or so. I'll tell you a little bit about my educational career and careers. I started out in 1960, and I went to Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, Troy, New York. Majored in chemical engineering, and that was straight out of high school, and straight out of college I went to work as a chemical engineer. Worked for Allied Chemical Corporation. I worked for them for 3 years, and I was involved in helping to design chemical plants for the company. A very rewarding career. Chemical engineers do make pretty good money. But at the end of 3 years, it came to me that it wasn't fulfilling. And so I quit, much to the surprise of my new wife. But we went off to Kansas, and I majored in environmental engineering because back in the 60s, environmental engineering was coming to fore. So I spent time there at the University of Kansas, got a master's degree, and ended up getting drafted because this is Vietnam War time, and then had a commission in the Public Health Service, and they sent me to Cincinnati, Ohio, instead of Vietnam. And I was doing research in controlling air pollution from industry, for which I was pretty well prepared. And I ended up working for 32 years for the what became the Environmental Protection Agency. Many of those years were out in the Research Triangle Park here in North Carolina. And I retired, well, actually while I was working with EPA back in the early 70s, I decided that since I wanted to, well, since I had been in my 20s maybe, I had thought about being a teacher at the college level, and so I decided I better get a union card, so to speak, and so I went off to the University of Washington in Seattle and got a doctorate. So I retired from EPA research in 2000 and went to work as a professor at James Madison University and taught there for 11 and a half years. That sort of summarizes my educational and working life.
Okay. Hi, I'm Mary Casey. I'm the Resident Relations Director here at Woodland Terrace, and my role is a little bit of everything, so kind of similar to a social worker in a sense. I'm not, but I do a lot with resident move-ins, resident welcome, oversee customer service. I do a lot of billing here for all of our residents. In addition to, I'm also the assisted living administrator. So family resident liaison, making sure that all of our residents' care needs are being met, they're happy, and addressing any concerns. So that's kind of a brief overview. I went to college at UNC Chapel Hill for 4 years and have my bachelor's degree in exercise and sports science and a double major in psychology. So my original goal was to go and get my degree in physical therapy and become a therapist. However, through my practicum work for my sports science degree and my psychology degree, I did a lot of practicum work in senior living communities, adult care homes, and rehab facilities. So through that experience, one of my upper level psychology courses was adulthood and development with a concentration in Alzheimer's disease. And through that coursework and volunteer practicum work, I fell in love working in a special care or memory care unit. Volunteered and actually ended up working there part-time during my college years, and after I graduated was given a full-time job there overseeing the volunteer coordination, the wellness programs and activities, and did that for about a year and a half, and then from there went into executive management, where I was in executive management for assisted living and memory care for the next 13 years or so, and I'm still doing it. So that's kind of how I got here and how my degree kind of fell into something. I guess you would say that my job kind of found me. And through my coursework at school and just volunteering in the local community in Chapel Hill, I found what I truly love, which is definitely serving others and working with the older adult population.
2, 1. Hi, I'm Ernie Kastner. I'm the Environmental Service Director here at Kisco Senior Living, Woodland Terrace in Cary, North Carolina. I do have an education, which I'm very proud of. After my 4 years of Bachelor's of Science in Management, I went on to obtain a master's degree in Public Administration, which was also predominantly management. I've been a professional manager for 28 years. I love working with people. I love building strong teams. And encouraging people to really blossom and move forward. And the way you do that, and I'm happy to speak to young people, is through education. I'm a true proponent of education, and that's the way that you're really going to succeed in life.
Hi, I'm Heather McCall. I'm the Assisted Living Director here at Woodland Terrace. I've been here for 6 years, almost 7. And my background and my educational background, I graduated from high school, Northeastern High School in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. I went to college at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. Go Hills! And I graduated with a degree in biology. Since that time, I have gone back to school and currently am in the ADN program at Johnston Community College, and that is the RN program. So I'm working full-time and I'm going to school as well.
Hi, my name is Teresa Sawyer, and I'm the Wellness Director at Woodland Terrace in Cary. And I graduated from the University of North Carolina at Greensboro in 1980, which means I'm old, and I have a degree in music education. How did I get to this job? One of my first jobs was Director of Activities at a church when I was 23 years old. I've always been a Renaissance woman, interested in many different activities. I love music, I love theater, I love engaging human beings in being the best that they can be. I love yoga, I love the outdoors, I love hiking, and I love people.
Why did you choose the college that you attended?
I chose UNCG because it had the best music program in the state of North Carolina at the time when I was in school.
What were some of the challenges you faced in preparing for college?
For me, it was just I was not very mature. I was only 18 years old. I didn't understand the value of education. I was far more interested in boys and partying. And that is the truth.
What were some of the challenges you faced during college?
During college, I did not understand what discipline was. I did not know how to study. I had to teach myself how to study because in high school I was more interested in boys and clubs and people.
How important were communication skills, especially writing and speaking, in getting through college?
I did not know how to write when I went to UNCG. I know how to write now. I learned how to write probably my senior year at UNCG. Writing takes practice. Communicating is part of writing. Communicating not just with writing, but communicating by talking to people and letting people know what you need and what you expect of them, and is an important part of being successful in any job. Being able to take direction is very important in any job, whether you're a supervisor or a manager or you're a waiter. You need to be able to take direction, and if you're not open to suggestions, then you can flip burgers for the rest of your life.
What advice would you give to a young student beginning their path to college today?
Try a lot of different things. Follow your heart. Don't go for the bucks. Go for your passion. You'll never be happy going after money because money will not satisfy, but satisfying your passion, what you're really good at. So keep trying different things because you are uniquely qualified to do something, but you just have to explore that to find out what it is that you're meant to do.
What skills did you find were a must to get through college?
Well, for me, and not to age myself, I never thought that typing or personal typing would be of such importance. I know my mother said, take personal typing, and I come from the age of tick, click, click, shing, not a computer. It was, in fact, when I started out in high school, computers, we had programming cards that were huge, but it was really important to understand how to communicate with the use of a keyboard. I think the other thing that's most critically important is the ability to communicate. And that comes from willing to take an opportunity and a chance. And if you make a mistake, so be it. But really, controlled failure is our learning opportunity. So learn and live on, and you'll be just fine.
What advice would you give to a young student beginning their path to college today?
Well, if you're thinking of going to college, I'd spend some time doing the best job you can of thinking what you'd like to do in your life. And this is tough for an 18-year-old or a 17-year-old or whatever you are. But do spend some time thinking to yourself, in yourself, what is it that would give you fulfillment, satisfaction? I don't recommend chasing the bucks. I didn't do it myself, and I've always done the things that interested me and gave me satisfaction. So look at that. Look at what you want to do in life. And then I would say, aside from doing well in school and the standard advice that you're given by your counselors and parents and so forth, teachers, I would think about not so much going to top-notch schools, but going to a school that has a good reputation for whatever you want. It's really important.
What skills do you find were a must to get through college?
It is very, very important to take an internship, follow someone in your field around, and get a perspective of what they do daily to have a good understanding, as well as a hands-on experience.
What would you have liked to know or do before going to college?
I would have liked to talk to more people about their college experience and shadowed people in different professions.
I think college education is a chore if you're not doing something you like. And you've got to decide what you want to do. Not everybody wants to do what I did. Not everybody wants to be a salesman. But everybody needs some sort of education. The question is whether or not everybody needs a college education. There are jobs that it's not necessary to have, certainly in areas of manufacture and some maintenance work and all. Not everybody likes college. But I think the majority of people should at least get 2 years of college at one of the schools that are now the state has. Like in here we have Wake Tech, a good 2-year school, and gives you a background. Even if you're going to do some mechanical work, they have a background in English and history and some mathematics, which is helpful. And it might even encourage you to go on to college. But I think some form of education beyond high school is necessary, but not absolutely necessary. Somebody still has to wait on tables, and somebody has to still do so many skills that are mechanical and don't require education.
Any challenges during college?
Yeah, absolutely. The biggest challenge for me was learning how to study. When I was in high school, maybe like a lot of you all, I didn't have to study. The information just seemed to always be there. But in college, it's a little bit different, and you have to learn how to organize your time, and I guess compartmentalize your thinking so that I have let's say 17 credits, and I have 5 classes, and I have exams in this one and that one, and you have to make sure that you keep that information, so I can pull what I need at the time I need it. So learning how to study was probably my biggest challenge.
Are you sure? Should we start over?
You should start.
Okay. Hi, I'm Ernie Kastner. What do you want to know about my school? Come on.
What advice would you give to a young student beginning their path to college today?
Save money. Save lots of money. It is quite costly. So, you have to be real. I think that I believe with any, and I had no time to prepare for these questions, but I think what's most important is that you really round yourself out, and that you make yourself just this huge asset, and that when a admissions officer looks at all of your credentials, yours stands out. Both my sons were Eagle Scouts. That stood out. Volunteer work. I don't think it's just about books. I don't think it's just about going to school and coming straight home. It's how you live your life. And I think that's how part of me has even succeeded in other professions, going for different jobs and different interviews. When they say, tell me about yourself, lock and load, it better be vast, and it has to be huge. So that's something you can work on now, whether you're volunteering at Woodland Terrace, or whether you're doing something in your church or your community or scouts. And and I always said to young people, I was a juvenile officer for 18 years, and I worked with young people a lot. I always said to them, I said, stretch and grow, and try to find that niche that's going to make you the number one on the list.
What were some of the challenges you faced in preparing for college?
Oh goodness. In preparing for college, I think a lot of it was just real, and I was very fortunate. My mother was a school teacher, so I've had that structure and foundation from early childhood, and education was always a focus in my family. But definitely kind of realizing that beginning with your freshman year in high school, every second counts, and just kind of really dedicating or being dedicated to your studies and staying focused and seeking out the guidance counselors and support services so that you know what's going to be the right school for you, what's the best program for you, where are your strengths, what are you interested in, and what are your weaknesses, what would not be the best fit. So I think that will be a good thing to kind of stay in tune to, listen to what you know you like to do and what are your strengths in school. You know, I had my best friend, her husband, great student, smart guy, didn't really tap into where his strengths were, and so he went down a path in college that was not the right fit for him, and then he had to start completely over. So it's just something to focus on.
What advice would you give a young student beginning their path to college today?
I would say to keep an open mind, not look at just schools and experiences that your friends and families have done, but ask coworkers, ask the guy behind the checkout line, ask everyone what they're doing, what they've done in their lives.
What advice would you give a young student beginning their path to college today?
I think for any student to begin their college journey, you have to know that this is one what you really want to do, because college is not for everybody. That's something I've learned, and I try to let people know. Don't feel bad if somebody says, oh, you don't want to go to college, because maybe it's not for you. Maybe that's not the career you need, or I'm sorry, not the path you need right now, or it may be something you can look forward to in your future. Right now you might want to work or go join the Peace Corps or do volunteer, whatever it is. If you have that opportunity, do it, because if you jump right to college, that just may be more detrimental to you than waiting, So make sure it's what you want to do. Make sure you pick a place that you're going to feel comfortable, and make sure that you focus. I mean, college is a lot about focus. So that's one of the most important, or those are the most important things, I think.
Hi, my name's Ernie Kastner. I'm the Director of Environmental Services here at Woodland Terrace, which is a Kisco senior living community in Cary, North Carolina. Oh, stop! First of all, I wish you the very best. And second of all, I know I've been asked many times, where do you find your strength? What guides you? And I know you're in a school setting, but there has to be something within inside of you, your faith. And that a lot of times that comes from your parents. This is a tough time. This is a challenging time for you. As I said to my two children, it's a rough period in life, and you're going to need to find a way of getting through it. And once you get through it, there's always a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So as though you meet many challenges and face many challenges in life, this too shall pass. You will get through this, and you will be successful. And remember, this is one little blip of your life, and you're going to have a lot of blips, and many, many years to come. And I've always said this too, once you've graduated high school, 95, 6, 7% of the children, or the young people that you are associating with, you're never going to see for the rest of your life. So I've always said to young people, be selfish to yourself. It's all about you. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but you really have to learn to take care of yourself. And when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, you're the one that puts your head on the pillow at night, and you're the one that faces your day and your prayers with your Lord. So it's all good. You got a great road ahead of you. I wish you the very best. If there's anything I can do ever to help a young person, I'm here for you. And you guys are the Bulls or something? Is that what? Bulldogs? Oh, go Bulldogs. So have a great life. Take care.